Your overview on what Tesla is trying to do.
Aubrey?
I used to be a huge Tesla fanboy. Not of the stock. I used to really want one of those cars. And used to admire Elon Musk hugely. Actually, I still do. He's a crazy billionaire. He sold his first computer game for $500 to some computer magazine, age 12. And then obviously he's had countless successes since. But yeah, he does seem to have lost the plot a little bit. The accusations to the British diver. Okay. I think he's just bitten off much more than he can chew. And actually, we were discussing this the other day about what happens when price exceeds valuation by so much. Because we were just saying, actually, Tesla could have been a really nice little business. It could have been another Aston Martin, maybe even another Ferrari. It was a luxury product. People love the Model S. But you cannot justify the market cap of the Model S alone. So he had to do more. And it just seems that he always has to do more and more and more to justify the valuation. And I think this is, not the valuation, the price. And I think this is a problem when things do get too overvalued, that managers then think they have to do something to justify the price and not actually control the market. Actually, you should look at Constellation Software. Mark Leonard, he had a fascinating letter where he said he used to not worry about his stock price, but he then realized that actually he really did need to worry about it and needed to keep it within some degree of fair range. Because if it got too cheap, you'd have barbarians at the gates. If it got too expensive, his core shareholders would leave and be replaced by fast money. But I guess this is just another case of why valuation does matter.
Yeah, I think this is a fascinating case because we usually, and it's a very long discussion, but this type of kind of feedback loop usually matters more to venture capitalists. And some of the venture capitalists in the room probably have more insight on that. But as you attract more and more capital from investors, classic web van type of problem, if you remember that, you have to continuously increase the size of this total addressable market to justify the capital that you've raised. And at some point, you cannot say, well, we have a profitable business here, let's just stick with it, because the gap between that and the capital that you've raised if you're private, or the stock market cap if you're public, gets so big that your over promises essentially have caught up with you, and you need to continuously, it's like someone on heroin where they're just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into that, and at some point they just reach the point where they cannot promise more because there cannot be more, and then at some point they cannot deliver what they promised, and I think the whole thing comes down. I have a specific problem with Tesla, but especially with Elon Musk, which is why I think he needs to go to jail. And the reason I think that's the case is I think Silicon Valley specifically, but culture in general, has come to think of these superstar CEOs since Steve Jobs as having a license to do whatever they want. They can misbehave with their employees. They can be terrible to their team members. They can be terrible to women. They can be terrible to society. They can do whatever they want. And now they can even break securities law and nobody is going to do anything to them. And I think we have to stop this. Just because they're brilliant in either inventing or building a business, that does not give them the right, in my opinion, to not live by the same rules of society that we all have to live by. And I think if we don't stop it, this is an extreme case of it. If we do not stop it, if we do not make a point out of Elon Musk, Unfortunately, in the US, the environment may not be the best one for that. But if we do not make him the poster child for the end of this insanity, I think we're just going to see more and more cases of that. Even by people, I mean, in Silicon Valley now, there are people who will advise you as an entrepreneur on how to behave badly if you're a genius, because that is what everybody expects of you. So this has gone in a very bad direction.